dear. Couldn't have thought I was going to show you that, right? Don't mind the hat. This is a blessing. I prayed for this, found it on the sidewalk, cleaned it up. It's mine. Anyways, this is me. This is my girlfriend. So, to explain how we got here, I probably had her around 2 years ago. So I had just gotten out of an on and off relationship, and it kind of imploded. And honestly, I had given up on love, and I was scared to trust again. I mean, I never wanted to be hurt, to be used, just never feel loved, and also for it to not feel like that verse of Proverbs that says it's better to be on a house than to live with a quarrelsome woman. So I just took the time off, and then something special happened. I decided to give the decision making over to God, and I knew that I couldn't choose well, but He can. And it took a couple of months, but after that, He responded, and He told me that my wife will be coming by the end of the year. So I'm like, what? Like, me, God? Like, yeah, what? Oh, we live for real. But something happened. I began to watch red pill content, and I was seeing women who terrified me. They would break up their families because of their emotions. They were scarring like children. They were doing whatever they wanted to. Obviously not the best place to go for an example of a godly woman. But I mean, it just was easier to pick that up than to go ahead and pick up my Bible and scan and look through to actually study what a godly woman makes. So I ended up having to close that chapter, quit looking at all that content, and realize that the woman that God chose for me would not have these issues. So I'm looking at the bad side of things, and just to leave it there. These are not the type of people that I would be choosing from anyways, you know? So I decided to get to work while I was waiting. Keyword, worked while I waited. I started to work on my innocence once again, to get out lust, to get out trauma, to get out all these things, because I didn't want to look on every woman and have a wandering eye and think lustful in my mind and think about all these things that could have happened to me in my past, and like go ahead and put this type of skewed mindset on a new relationship. And I started to think about characteristics that I wanted my woman to have instead of physical attributes. And what happened was I began a gut-wrenching, grueling process to change. And the Lord breathed on it, and I finally met her. She was in Bible study, go figure. But that process taught me how to find the person I needed. I needed someone I could cry with, someone I love, someone who would care about the things that I have interest in, someone who wouldn't try to isolate me from God or say that I was too churchy or too Christian around their family or friends, someone where I could be me. And it wasn't just about me being me, but we are equally yoked to the point where what I do is what they love and what they do is what I love. And it's funny because when I found her, you know, I knew her for like a year, and I never really like spoke to her for real, or like, especially not on that level. Then when God hired her to me, I'm like, yeah. No, I'm just playing. I was surprised. I mean, I was kind of shocked. And that'll be a full testimony that we come out with together. So, you know, we'll leave that for that. But we ended up starting a season of friendship, building a foundation for 4 months. And the Lord was speaking to me during that time, and He had given me a date. And before we went through it, we ended up meeting with an elder who had breathed on it, and then the Lord actually gave us confirmation. Bro, funny enough, I'm recording this video, I'm setting up shots or whatever. This guy said, "Oh, I thought you was making a movie or something." So he backed his car the way. He talked to me. He like, "Oh, yeah, you go to the school around here?" I'm like, "Nah, I don't go to the school, you know, I just live over here." Man's gonna say, "Oh, where your girlfriend at?" It's like, what? Why would he just ask me, do I got a girlfriend? I'm not thinking of it. So Shorty asked me where my girlfriend at, and then he's just gonna say,
what you get into? Like he said it again. I'm like, what I get into? I'm like, oh, maybe he mean like, do I be hitting females around here? I said, y'all get into that. Then he go say, he said, so what's all that swinging down there in the front of you? What? I dapped bro up before this, and I was like, did I just shake a gay dude hand? Then he pulled out in the street yelling, yo, 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 what's all that in front of you? What's all that in front of you? Like, what? Bro, it's creepy around here.
So we knew that we couldn't be together physically, but we decided that our hearts and our spirits could. So we decided to work on each other's spiritual fruit and started to really love each other. It's the same concept of when you're with God. Like, you can be with God in spirit and feel very close without ever actually physically touching the Lord. So we did the same thing with our hearts. I mean, we prayed together, we worshiped together. I mean, we cooked together, we went on dates together, we watched movies, we involved each other in our everyday lives, really, to be honest. Like, we sent voice notes, we talked on the phone for hours, we sent photos, we showed each other our days, we laughed, we talked about our childhoods, our histories. We wrote poems, we read romance books together. I mean, and we're still doing even more. We even have like a date night where we do these things now. So we're like implementing ways to build up our spiritual connection so strong so that when we come into the physical, it's just an added layer, not the necessary means. And from there, we decided to write love letters. So I say all of this to say is that this spirit. So yeah, after all of that, we decided to start dating. And we wrote love letters to each other. So even though there was a physical divide between us, our hearts were in the Father's hands at all times. And it's going to stay that way till we meet and much after that. So even though this is the start of our journey, I'm madly in loving it. And I understood something. The love of your life should model your relationship with the Father. It should model your relationship with God. And it should be all encompassing. Like, there should be no fear of it. It should be no boundaries to what it can explore. Because when you are with this person that is your God-given spouse, truly in love with them, they'll make you want to fly.
Sure. I'm here to tell you, baby. When you misuse you're for each other's use, but don't abuse the use. And when you abuse the use, that's on total, ain't on nobody but your ass. It's gonna come back around to you.